Hey guys, and welcome to a new series of videos, or I guess episodes, where I discuss my thoughts on certain things. These things will include my thoughts on movies, books, video games, and some other things. Now, before we get started on my first video, I do need to explain a few things. But first, these videos will be scripted. I do want to be genuine when I talk, but a script will help me organize my thoughts properly, which is what I want. Second, I want to talk a little bit about myself before I start. So, my name is David, and I realized that I need something to do, and even though I have other projects, I figured it would make sense to start a series of videos that resemble a podcast, but also like those kinds of videos where people tell their stories or share their thoughts on something. So that's what this channel is going to be about, with the occasional episode where I talk about filmmaking, but that's something for another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about The Last of Us Left Behind DLC. Also, like I said, these videos are scripted, and these can also be listened to while you're doing something in the background, like studying or working on something, and I'll just talk and you can continue doing what you're doing, whatever you're supposed to be doing. But if you don't have anything to do, I also do include Red Dead Redemption gameplay in the background, so you can watch that and listen to me talk. So like I said, today I want to talk about The Last of Us Left Behind. I'm not really going to explain anything about The Last of Us or its world, because I assume you would know about The Last of Us if you clicked on this video. But in short, The Last of Us is a zombie apocalypse game about a single dad, Joel, and his adoptive daughter, Ellie, roaming around the world in search of a group of scientists who can supposedly make a cure to the zombie virus. And along the way, they encounter military guys, mercenaries, random criminals, and lots of zombies. Before I start, I do want to talk about my overall thoughts on the actual game, The Last of Us Part 1. I really liked the story of The Last of Us, and really felt the emotions that the game was trying to portray. Just because of the story, the game is a top 3 for me, and I'm very happy to say that. Now let's move into the gameplay. The gameplay of the main game and the DLC are one of the lows for me. The game drops you into each area and forces you to stay on one set path, but doesn't tell you what that path is. The game wants to hold your hand with everything and will even add an NPC in the area with you sometimes, but gives you zero guidance on where exactly to go when you're on your own. That was mostly my experience with the exploration and navigation. The DLC has 6 different areas, and half of those where I had the most trouble navigating, because I couldn't figure out where the heck to go. However, the combat was great, and so was the stealth and the other parts of the gameplay. I learned my favorite strategy to use when fighting these enemies. Pick up a brick, throw it at an enemy, and then run up and take the enemy out with my shiv. Now I want to talk about the story, because that's where the main things are a bit more complicated than when talking about the gameplay. Left Behind has 2 main stories. The main story with Ellie in the present, trying to get medical supplies for Joel, and the other half about Ellie's backstory in the past. These 2 stories are broken into 3 segments each. The first one, the current Ellie story, I definitely liked more than the other. It was cool to see Ellie fend for herself and take care of Joel, and each section brought its own unique gameplay loop. Section 1 used exploration, Section 2 used puzzles and horror, and the third one used gunplay and combat. The second storyline introduces us to a new character, Riley. Riley leads Ellie through 3 different areas, with a third, a horror chase sequence, being the one I enjoyed the most. Riley and Ellie's relationship was interesting because it adds so much to the character of Ellie. Riley shows where Ellie has come from, and their relationship adds a lot of depth to the character. I do prefer the main game, but this DLC was still pretty good. Overall, it was enjoyable, but I only cared for half of the story and half of the gameplay. But since I need more Last of Us content in my life after playing the main game, this DLC definitely filled the need. It's definitely not the best I've played, but it isn't the worst, so I'm going to give it 7.2 out of 10. Anyway, that's going to be it for the first of these videos. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you want, and like content like this. Until then, goodbye for now, and I will see you all next time.
My name is John Mustard! Well, let me have a roll and a song on the board, I'll cut it.